So friends, I'm so moved to see you. I'm so moved to be standing here. And even though it's hard to remember what it was like for all of us to be together and to feel one another's energies moving in space together, I want to invite you to drop in, no matter where you are. You're on the vineyard, drop in. If you're in Aspen, drop in. If you're in New York City, drop in wherever you are. Be in the presence of our ancestors on this sacred and hallowed ground here in Ulster Park, up here in Hudson Valley, on ground that is holy to indigenous and original peoples, surrounded by friends with beautiful hearts and intention. And so many people whom you don't see, who made this possible. So we hold all of the support and the support that you offer yourself and offer your own soul as we begin this journey together. Yom Kippur, Shabbat Shabbaton. This Holy of Holies is called by the tradition our mikveh, our opportunity to immerse ourselves in a day of reflection, a day of tears, a day of introspection, a day of repair, a day of fixing what we can fix. Some of you know this, that spoken about this a couple of times in the shul, that now for my entire life, for 51 years, my Abba, my dad, has found me wherever I've been. When I was in Israel, he found a payphone in the yeshiva that I was studying in. When I wasn't observing Yom Kippur, he found me to give me his blessing. So today, when the phone rang, my brother had already told me to expect that it was my dad. So my dad blessed me today, and for the first time, I'm sure many of you have already thought about this. I'm late to the game. I said, Dad, after he finished blessing me, I said, Pop, would you please call me back? He said, why? I said, I don't know the way things work in the world, but I want to prepare myself. You never know. And so I invite him to call me back. I said, Pop, leave me a message with that blessing. And I'm going to save it in 4 different clouds, in 5 different servers. Because I know I'm going to need to listen to it. Yom Kippur gives us strength, gives us oz. We take with us through the year what we need. So open your heart, press record, invite the ancestors, maybe even invite those who have not yet arrived in this world and say, here, rest here. If you're able, please chant with us. Come, come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times, come, come again. Come, come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times, come, come again. Come, come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times, come, come again. Come, come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times, come, come again. Come, come, whoever you are, even if you've broken your vows 1,000 times, come, come again. Come, come again. Come, come again. If you're able to rise, please rise. Hayor zarulat sadik. Ola Yisrael v'simcha. Or zaru ala tzadik. Light is sown for the righteous and for those with aligned hearts, deep abiding joy. Or zaru ala tzadik, ula yisraelem simcha. May be yeshiva shel malach, yeshiva shel mata, al das hamakom, ve'al das hakahal, anu matirin, lispalel ima vayanim.
With the authority of the divine court on high, and with the authority of the earthly court below, with agreement by God and this holy congregation, we permit all to pray with those who have sinned.
Yeshiva shel mala, yeshiva shel mata, al das hamakom, ve'al das hakahal, anu matirin, lispalel im avayanim. Kol Nidre Yesarei Vacharamei Vikonamei וכינויי וכינוסי יושבו נדרנה ונשתבדנה ונያחרימנה ריאסרנה על נפשה סנה מיום כיפורים זה עד יום כיפורים הבא עלינו לטובה ולכון איחרת נבחון ולכון יכון שרן שוויקין שוויסין בתינו מבוטלין
שוויקין שוויתין בתינו מבוטלין
לשרימן ולקיימין נדרנה לא נדרה ויסרנה לא יסריה או שמוע סנה לשבוס כל נדרי ויסרי ואחרמי וקונמי וכינויי וכינוסי שבוס דין דרנה ונשתבדנה ולאחרימנה ונيسرنا على النفس سانا מיום כיפורים זה עד יום כיפורים הבא עלינו לטובה ולכון איחרת נבחון ולכון יכון שרן שוויקין שוויסין בתינו מבוטלין
שוויקין שוויתין
lasher hiren vela kayamin nidradna ahalon nidre v'yesaradna lo esadre o shemo asana na shemo kol nidre v'yesarei v'charamei v'konamei v'chinuyei v'kinusei u'shevuos din nadarana ونشتبهنا ونياخريمنا ونياسرنا النفش صرنا میام کیپوریم زه عد یام کیپوریم حبالیتنوم لطافة كل هون يخرطنا في هون كل هون يهون الشران شافيكن شافيسين متاجين ومفوتالين
שוויקים שביטים בטלים ומבוטלים
لاشريرهن ولا كيامين نيدرنا لا 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 ندري ويسارنا لا ساري ay la 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 na 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 o shemo asana la shemo ונסלח לכל עדת בני ישראל.
ונסלח לכל עדת בני ישראל, ולגר הגר בתוך כי
סלח נא לעוון המזה כגודל חסדך, וכאשר נשאת על עם הזה ממצרים ידינו, משום נאמר.
ויאמר אדוני, סלחתי כדבריך. ויאמר אדוני, סלחתי כדבריך. ויאמר אדוני, סלחתי
Every year I remind the community that this blessing now is the best Shechayanu of the year. You're here. Appreciate that for a moment. You're here. You made it. Shechayanu v'kiyamanu. Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה ברוך אתה
אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה
Sing with us, everyone. Good Yantiv, everyone. Good Yantiv, good Yantiv. How many cameras do we have here? 400? 500? 600? So to 600 cameras and more people. I can only see a couple of you at a time, but I want to say to Steve and Shari, and I just looking around with Ronnie, Rachel Bello, look here, Yudi. I'm just looking and looking. All the beautiful faces. Look at these beautiful faces. Richard Geduldig. Ach, Gewalt. Mahip and Lena. Let's see. Valerie. I can hear you singing over here, Valerie. And Robert. And Michelle. Shechayanovic Yamana Michelle. Michelle. So beautiful to be with all of you. And I wish that we were all together in one space. And I wish, more than anything, that I could hear you standing and rising, standing and sitting, standing and sitting. And I wish more than anything that this Yom Kippur, instead of being in boxes here, we would be together in our normal space. But it's good to be with all of you through this technology, and it is a blessing. It is a blessing. I want to invite all of you who were with us for Rosh Hashanah. You might have remembered that one of the ways that we circumvent how difficult it is to hear people's voices when there are 600 and more individuals online with us at this moment, one of the ways that we can invite ourselves into community, it's a little bit maybe jarring at first, is something that we've been playing with, which is a word cloud. One of the ways that we say hello to people is with word clouds, by inviting people to use technology in a way to connect. And so we know that there's texting and there's chat boxing, but we're inviting you at this moment to try out this technology. Just take a moment, everybody, and in the spirit of Yom Kippur and in the spirit of reaching through a virtual space, I'd like you to take a moment to think about this prompt. It's a writing prompt that I saw through my friend Mirabai Starr, who sent it in the name of her friend. And it goes something like this. Before you fill it in, give me a moment. I'm going to read to you. You can go back. Gil was going to stay here the entire night holding that Sefer Torah. That's beautiful. This writing prompt, Where I'm From. Take a moment, everybody, as I read this to you from Elaine Sutton. She wrote about herself, I'm from Sangre de Cristos. I'm from the brown bear who came to me while I was praying on the top of Hermit Hill. From her cinnamon fur and luminous eyes. From the long moments we sat together exchanging souls. I'm from that very moment she stood, bowed, and shambled away. I'm from long years at Lama Foundation, riding with a river of beloveds. I'm from 30 years of Sufi healing rituals. I'm from all the broken hearts I've held in my hands. I'm from Brooklyn, an apartment on the 7th floor, the schoolyard where I learned to jump rope. So where are you from tonight? I'm from New York City, love. Philly, Russia, Earth. Riverdale, Teaneck, Pittsburgh, Chicago, upstate. Malaga, Spain, Tel Aviv, my ancestors, Westport, Connecticut, Latvia. New York City, Brooklyn, the divine source of love. All the people I've ever. Maryland. Oh, it's moving and grooving. And look at this. My family, pain and suffering. Montreal, my descendants. Teaneck, the blessings of my life. Love, Earth, Brooklyn, New York City, Ecuador. I'm from Holocaust survivors. It keeps going. It's beautiful. It's hard to see it. I'm going to go a little closer because I can't really see it, guys. Sorry. So many good things here that I got to see. Sorry. Love, Torah, Newton, Mass, Dobbs Ferry, hope, the heart of New York, warriors, multi-gendered rainbow, Ecuador, Moldova, oceans, humanity, my parents' love, Morningside Heights. Where are you guys from?
From the pier in West 72nd Street.
Where are you from, Rich?
Shores of Virginia Beach, nighttime, preferably.
Nadav. Kibbutz Nachshon. Jerry.
Long Island. Long Island, New York.
Long Island, New York. Rabbi Rivera.
I'm from Motown and Monsoon Rains.
I'm from Sydney and Wendy. Mara. Bettina and Adam. I'm from Ariel, Bear, Talent-Or. I'm from the Romemu community and Open Hearts. I'm from a place where if you don't know anything about Judaism, cool. If you do know something about Judaism, also cool. If you read Hebrew perfectly, awesome. If you've never read Hebrew before in your life and this is your first Yom Kippur service, awesome. I'm from bodies that are alive and full of wisdom and music that makes you cry and opens you up. I'm from asking for forgiveness, especially when everything in you wants to hold on to a grudge. I'm from what's real, what's true. I'm from love is love is love is love. I'm from a deep connection to Father Sky, Mother Earth, green friends, the light and the dark. I'm from. And all of you are from all of these places and so many more, and so many more and more and more. And this is your Kehilat Kedosha. This is your beautiful, mysterious, colorful community of devotees and fellow travelers along the path of Yom Kippur. We're so blessed in this community to have so many poets. We're so blessed in this community to have so many incredible writers, incredible teachers. And over the course of Rosh Hashanah and now Yom Kippur, we heard from wonderful poets from within our community. And so this Yom Kippur, as is our custom for many years now, and God willing, for many years to come, we invite Sharon Dolan to share her words this evening as we set a stage for Ma'ariv, our evening prayers. God willing, for many years to come, we invite Sharon Dolan to share her words this evening.
How do I fix the world when I can't even fix myself? When a toothache obliterates the moment and Azazel takes all my sins from the goat? What is the secret heart of pain? What is the painful secret of the heart? Drilling through the numb is this ache that rises from my jaw to my temple, to teach me to inhale the pain of those passing below in the street, in all the streets of my city, and exhale a healing balm that does not numb, but straightens out and calms all the tangled nerves of those inflamed.
So friends, open your hearts as we try our best to pray for him. This is not a performance. There's all kinds of stuff that nobody here ever thought we'd be engaging in at this moment. Trying to maximize our connection with all of you. That's all we're trying to do. So if there's some glitches, give us a bracha, give us a blessing. Close your eyes and say, we're with you. If you're able to rise, please rise for this call to blessing, known as Baruch Hu, and sing as loud as you can, if you can. Keith. Ay, da, 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 dam. Ay, da, 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 dam. Da, 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 dam. Ay, da, 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 dam. Anay, nay, 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 nanay, nay. Nanay, nay, 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 nanay. Nanay, no, nay, nanay, nay. Nanay, nay, nay, nay. Ay, nay. את אדוני המבורך.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed.
may be seated as we continue. We bless the darkness that is an admixture of light and dark. The day becomes night and the night becomes day. Blessed is the wisdom of opening those gates. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariva ravim b'chokhmah potach.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני
Baruch hu baruch shemo Edinai Adonai 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 Edinai Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael amachavta Torah mitzvot chukim mishpatim otanu limatam. We are so blessed tonight to have the container, the pathways, the wisdom of our ancestors, to be able to rejoice in Torah, the wisdom and the commandments and the actions that we are enjoying to make a holy world. Truly, they are our life force. They give length to our days. Ki ein chayenu, v'orech yameinu, uvahem negem yomam v'laylam, v'yavadcha tasu mimenu li'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai.
Baruch hu Baruch shemo
Ohev amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael,
Yisrael.
Adonai Eloheinu,
Eloheinu.
Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Hashem kivod malchuto li'olam va'ed.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, בשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך.
Ve'yayim Shamoah, the second paragraph of the Shema. If we will really listen, aligning ourselves with love and having that as our highest goal, our highest value, our highest principle, loving the source of life with all our heart, with all that we do, with all that we live. ונתתי מדרתכם איתו יום הכל שאספת דגנך ודיושך ויצריך. ושמתם את דברי ידע על לבבכם ועל נפשכם וקשרתם אותם להיות על ידיכם ויהיו לטוטפות בין עיניכם. למען יבוא ימיכם וימי בניכם ולמען מה שבעד ולבותיכם. ועד להם כימי השמיים על הארץ. יעשו להם ציצים על גן ובגדיהם לדורותם ונתנו על ציצית. הקנה בתלכלת והיה לכם לציצים. And seeing the margins, the fringes, the things on the edges, will see him, her, that divine reality and remember it. כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם לא תטוח אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי ויקיימו את כל שמותיי.
Adonai Elohechem Emet.
On the bottom of page 14 in your Machzor, we sing the song of the sea. There are some opinions that say that the sea split at night, like a night like tonight, but in the spring, right? But what was it like to see redemption come in the thick, dense, unknown, and uncertain place? Oh, what a song we will sing. And we hope so deeply that all peoples will be free and sing their freedom song. Mi chamocha.
מי כמוך,
מי כמוך
באלים אדוני,
באלים אדוני.
מי כמוך,
מי כמוך
נטע בקודש,
נטע בקודש.
נורא ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך, הושיענו למען שמך.
השכיבנו, השכיבנו.
Sukkah in sheltering place.
Lay us down in peace, Author of the stars. Raise us up to life, ground of our being. We still have the possibility of peace even in this moment.
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל. נינאי נאי 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 נינאי נאי 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 ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועל ירושלים. Please rise if you are able. On page 17, the special verse associated with this day, Ki vayom hazeh, this day, Yichaper alechem, atonement is available, forgiveness is possible, to purify us from all of our missings of the mark. Beyond all things, compassion heals. Ki vayom hazeh Yichaper alechem litacher etchem מכל חטאותיכם לפני אדוני תתחרו. Chati Kaddish on page 18.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
בעלמה תברך ירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה בזמן קריב ואמרו אמן.
יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולימי עלמיה.
יתברך וישתבח, יתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה לעילה, מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה אמרו אמן.
We invite you into the silent Amidah, to the prayers and reflections that are offered on the pages in front of you, or if you're in your own machzor on page 31 through 49. please rise if you are able as the ark is open. As we yalla, we rise together. on page 55 or on the screen in front of you. For we are like clay in the hand of the potter. Ki hinei kachomer veyanda yotzer birsoso marchiv uvirsoso mekatzer kein anachnu beyadcha hesed notzer lachabris ahabet yaltef nayitzer
כי הנך האבן ביד המסתת, ברצותו אוחז וברצותו מחטט. כן אנחנו בידך מחיה וממוטט לברית הבט והתפן ליצר.
כי הנה כגרזן ליד החרש ברצותו דיבק לבור ברצותו פגרש כן אנחנו ביד תומך אני ורש הבריס הבט ירתפן ויצר
כי הנך ההגה ביד המלאך, ברצותו אוחז וברצותו שילח. כן אנחנו בידך אל טוב וסלח לברית הבט והתפן ליצר.
נקיס חוסית ביד המזקק ברצוסו חוגג וברצוסו מנוגג כן אנחנו בידך אדיר הזדון בשק הבריס הבט יעטפן ברצותו משגשג וברצותו מצרף כן אנחנו בידך ממשיך למזור טרף לברית התפן ליצר. As we turn to the 13 attributes of divine love, the ark is open. The words on the screen or on page 56 in your machzor. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum Vechanun, Erech Apayim, V'rav Chesed V'emes, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Fesha V'Chato ונקה. אדוני
Adonai, El Rachum Bechanun, Erech Apayim, Berav Chesed Be'emet, Notze Chesed La'alavim, Nose Avon Ba'pesha, Bechata'a V'nakeh. Yod Hey Vav Hey,
compassion and tenderness, patience, forbearance, kindness, awareness, bearing love from age to age, lifting guilt and mistakes, and making us free. Shema Koleinu, listen to our voices, source of life. Ya Eloheinu, Chos v'rachim aleinu, v'kabel b'rachamim v'ratzon, es tefilaseinu. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva, Chadesh yameinu, Chadesh yameinu, Chadesh yameinu, Chadesh yameinu kedem. As we bring to mind all of those in our world who have been set aside, all of those who are beyond a certain age where our society says that we are taking care of you, that your wisdom and your years and your experience is such a vital resource in the soil of future generations, in a world where people are discarded. We say, Al tashlicheni milfanecha, please don't discard us. As our strength wanes, please do not abandon us.
אל תשליכנו מלפניך, איי איי איי, ברוח קודשך אל תיקח ממנו. איי 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 איי.
Eloheinu le'avoteinu v'imotenu. Source of life, source of life, source of life. The power of our ancestors. Give us the strength to ask for forgiveness. Give us the desire to fix what's broken, to mend what's been torn. Vaislach lanu, mechal lanu, kapelanu. Ki anu amecha, ve'ata Eloheinu, anu v'anecham ve'ata binu, anu v'anecham ve'ata Adonenu, anu v'anecham ve'ata chelkeinu.
ינו נחלתך ואתה גורלנו, אנו צונך ואתה רוענו,
אנו חנך ואתה נותננו, אנו
גאולתך
ואתה יוצרנו, אנו ידך ואתה אדוננו, אנו סגולתך ואתה קרובנו, אנו עמך ואתה מגנו, אנו ממירך ואתה ממירנו, איי איי יאללה איי אנו הזייפונים יתה רחום מחנון, אנו קשי עורף ואתה רחפיים, אנו מלאי עוון ואתה מלאי רחמים, אנו ימינו כצל עובר ואתה ושנותיך לא יתמו. Eloheinu v'le'avoteinu on page 62. May our tefillot, may our prayers rise, 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 ve'al titaleim mitchinatenu. She'en anachnu hazeifanim ve'kukshov lo malvenecha. Ya Eloheinu v'elohei avotenu v'imotenu. Tzadikim anachnu v'lo chatanu. Aval anachnu v'avotenu v'imotenu. Chatanu. Ay, ay, nay, 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 la, na, na, nay, nay, no. Please rise if you are able. Ashamnu, bagadnu, gazalnu, dibanu dofi. Ay, na, nay, nay, la, na, na, nay, nay, nay. La na na na.
הבינו והרשענו, שנו חמסנו, טפלנו שקר.
Ay na na na, ya na 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 na, ya na 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 na. Ya'atznu ra, hizavnu, latznu maradnu, ni'atznu sararnu, avinu, pashanu, tsarenu, tsararnu, kishinu oref. Ahay na na na. We have been corrupt. We have acted wrongly. We have gone astray. We led others astray. Ay, na, 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 ya, na, 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 ya, na, na, as we prepare ourselves for the al-khaits, for the listing of the individual moments of missing the mark, reminding ourselves with each gentle tap on the heart to awaken the heart, with each gentle tap on the heart to remember that we recite all of these with a plural inclusivity. All of us, all humans, have gone the way of these moments. And so we know that we can always turn. Al Chay Shechatanu V'necha B'yones V'ratzon, Al Chay Shechatanu V'necha B'imutz Halev, Al Chay Shechatanu V'necha B'yudui Sfatayim on page 65. Al Chay Shechatanu V'necha B'vidat Zinun, Al Chay Shechatanu V'necha B'vidui Pem. For the ways that I've missed the mark by disrespecting my parents and teachers, intentionally and unintentionally. For the ways that I've missed the mark by abusing power. For the ways that I have missed the mark by acting so as to desecrate God's name. For the ways that I've missed the mark by speaking hypocritically. For the ways I've missed the mark by speaking foolishly. For the ways that I missed the mark with my Eitzah Haram. Yodim lo yodim, whether I knew or whether I didn't know. אחרי שחטאנו לפניך בנחת, בחחש ובכזב, אחרי שחטאנו לפניך בחפת שוחד. והעם, כל העם, אלוהי סליחות, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, כפר לנו. For the ways that we missed the mark, for the ways that we missed the mark. On page 67, all by being self-centered, by judging others. For the ways that I missed the mark by being covetousness, by being having covetousness, by being jealous. The ways that I have missed the mark and closed my heart with irreverence and stubbornness. When I've rushed to do things that aren't wholesome and skillful. By spreading rumors and gossiping, speaking about others, by making promises that I don't intend to keep, that we don't intend to keep, the ways that we have missed the mark by baseless hatred and by abuse of trust, the ways that we have missed the mark by succumbing to despair. On page 67, Slach lanu, mechal lanu, kaper lanu. We have a slide for some al-khaits for the places that we've missed the mark. We sin against you when we sin against ourselves. For our failures of truth, God, we seek and ask for forgiveness. For using people as stepping stones to advancement. For confusing love and lust. For hiding from others behind an armor of mistrust. For condescending towards those who we regard as inferiors. For the sin of making our waters unfit to drink and unsafe for fish. For the sin of pouring noxious chemicals upon trees and soil. For the sin of war. For the sin of building weapons of mass destruction. For the sin of lacking civil courage. For the sin of silence and indifference. We sin against you when we sin against ourselves. For our failures of truth, oh Lord, we ask forgiveness. for pretending to emotions that we do not feel, for denying responsibility for our misfortunes, for passing judgment without knowledge, for remembering the price of things but not their values, for teaching our children everything but the meaning of life, for the sin of not doing enough to alleviate poverty and hunger, for the sin of spreading negative stories about people that we know, for the sin of being cynical about the possibility of a better world. Eloha selichot, slach lanu, mecha lanu, kaper lanu. For the sins of racism we have committed through haughty demeanor and proud looks. For the sins of racism that we have committed through turning a blind eye to pain and suffering around us. Oh God, forgive our rich nation where small babies die of cold quite legally. Oh God, forgive our rich nation where small children suffer from hunger quite legally. Oh God, forgive our rich nation where toddlers and school children die from guns sold quite legally. Oh God, forgive our rich nation that lets children be the poorest group of citizens quite legally. Oh God, forgive our rich nation that lets the rich continue to get more at the expense of the poor quite legally. Oh God, forgive our rich nation which thinks security rests in missiles rather than in mothers and in bombs rather than in babies. Oh God, forgive our rich nation for not giving you sufficient thanks by giving to others their daily bread. Oh God, help us to never confuse what is just with what is legal, quite legal, with what is just and right in your sight. Kulam Eloha selichot, slach lanu, mecha lanu, kaper lanu. So the great Rav Kook, the great first chief rabbi of pre-mandate Palestine, he wrote that just as we enumerate the places that we have missed the mark, we are also to elevate and give ourselves oaths and strength through those places where we have acted with merit, with zechut. We have loved our fellow human beings. We have wept at their misfortunes. We have done good deeds. We have spoken well of others. We have trusted you. We have strived to do well. We have remembered our people's past. We have embraced our traditions. We have valued learning. We have created new paths to righteousness. We have yearned for Zion. We have fought for justice. We have taken full advantage of all that is good. We have tried our best. We have not averted our eyes. We have acted in accordance with your will. We have shared our wealth with others. We have been right, but just sometimes. We have called on you for assistance. We have desired to do what's right. We have rejoiced in all of our blessings, and we have supported those in need of support. May we be strengthened. May we have the power to return as we open the ark for Avinu Malkeinu on page 72. Avinu Malkeinu, chatanu lifanecha, Avinu Malkeinu, imenu malkatenu, lana melech ela ata, Avinu Malkeinu. Avinu Malkeinu, chadesh aleinu shana tova. Avinu Malkeinu, imenu malkatenu, batel me'alenu kol gezeirot kashot. Imenu malkatenu, batel machshavot, batel tifli machshavot Avinu Malkeinu hafer atzat oivenu, Imeinu Malkatenu, Kali kotzar mastin me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu achzveinu b'tshuva shleima lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu sejulach b'rufo shleima lechol yamecha. Send healing for all of those who need healing. Avinu Malkeinu zochenu zichot. Chamol aleinu v'alol aleinu v'tapenu. Avinu Malkeinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Neinu Vaneinu, Eibanu Ma'asim, Aseh Imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, Aseh Imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed
Avinu Malkeinu, Boreinu, Rachameinu, Imeinu, Malkeinu, Choneinu, Vahaneinu, Ki ein banu masim. Aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed. Aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed
You may be seated, everyone. So behind the scenes, constantly working and making it possible for all of this evening and every day, whether it was Rabbi Mira Rivera's constancy each and every morning holding this community remarkably, whether it was Rabbi Diane Koleresis and her beautiful Torah, whether it was Chazan Basi Schechter and her music, whether it is any member of this incredible Romemu community, staff, clergy, team, board, without your support, without your presence, without people who feel supported by Romemu, supporting Romemu, none of this would be possible. So I'd like to invite someone who also works behind the scenes pretty regularly. And without her, not only my personal life and family life, but also so much of Romemu couldn't happen. Ariel Rosen Ingber.
Gmar Chatima Tova, Romemu. May we all be inscribed in the book of life. I miss hugging so many of you, and I'm even banned from chatting hello in the Zoom box during the service. This is hard, and we're doing it. This community is unstoppable. Romemu has felt more like a connected and deep community in the past 6 months than it ever has for me. That is thanks to who shows up every day, every week. You who learn with us, you who daven with us, you who weep with us, you who celebrate with us. And it takes money to support Romemu's programming. The costs to running Romemu have not changed despite our being virtual. We have retained all of our staff and clergy, and that's been very, very important to us. We're providing more programming than we ever have, especially at this critical time. It feels like the most important thing, one of the most important things, is spiritual support, spiritual guidance. And we've seen this need far more than we've ever seen it before. And we can offer all this only because you contribute. You contribute above and beyond membership. So we invite you right now to meet, please make a pledge to support what is supporting you, if it's supporting you, if you're being fed by this community, by Romemu, by the programs, by the davening. Do this so we can expand and reach more folks who may not be able to afford membership. Do this because Romemu needs your support. So if you're watching now on your screen and you have your phone by your side, open up the camera and point your camera at the QR code on the slide in front of you. You'll be taken to the link where you can put in your pledge. You can also look down in the chat box in the Zoom room and get the link there as well to put in your pledge. However small it is, however big it is, it means something to us, and it means a lot that you do this. So we appreciate it, and we thank you, and we wish you peace, love, and connection in this year of 5781. Jujantif.
Shabbat morning, as we gather together for Rosh Hashanah, I introduced you to the story of the Rebbe of the Warsaw Ghetto, of Kolomus Kalman Shapira, known as the Piazetzner Rebbe. I quoted from his sermon back in the beginning of 1939, connecting it to another song that was written, another series of words that were written at the same time, the words of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. The sermon of the Rebbe of the Warsaw Ghetto in 1939 came at the beginning of the horrors. The sermon in that year was just a few weeks after the beginning of the bombing of Warsaw, and in the aftermath of his own personal tragedy, losing his son and his daughter-in-law, and with the concomitant communal trauma, stress, and shock the Rebbe still had within him the power to elevate, the power to awaken, the power to bring forth hope. But as the war endured, as it stretched out for years, the writings of the Rebbe in Eish Kodesh, in the book called the Holy Fire, his sermons, his drashot, they became more and more difficult to discern within them the lift, the hope, until finally, in the very last sermon recorded in his book, The Holy Fire, from the Warsaw Ghetto, delivered on July 11th, 1942, just days before the start of the great deportation to Treblinka of most of Warsaw's Jews. Rabbi Shapira writes a sermon in which he explores two spiritual attainments or two spiritual perspectives that are known quite well within the world of Jewish mysticism, the world of Kabbalah, and in the world of Hasidism or Chassidut. One is called Itaruta Mila'ela. It's an Aramaic phrase for an awakening from above, from La'ela, from above. And the second frame is Itaruta Milatata, an awakening from below. Used together, they're often signals for the differential between God's grace and God's power, awakened, as it were, from above, and human initiative, human agency, our ability here below to awaken, as it were, a reciprocity from God. And the Rebbe, exploring this theme, writes that after the superiority of Itaruta Militata, that there's a greater power in the awakening from below. But writes the Rebbe that there's a well-known Talmudic passage that says that King David's composition of the Psalms came about because King David was inspired by his own awakening, his own capacity to lift himself up into a state of muse, into a state of song, a state of singing, that he used joy. And for that reason, King David's Psalms became revered and received, beloved and sung plaintively, longingly. But, says the Rebbe of the Warsaw Ghetto, we have another tradition. The tradition is precisely because prophecy and songwriting and muse comes from joy. The prophet Jeremiah, before the destruction of the temples, didn't write the book of Lamentations, a book of sadness, a book of lament, but had to write it actually when he was in a state of joy, not witnessing the destruction of the temples. The book of Lamentations, says the Rebbe, was written preemptively so that Jeremiah might have something to say. That in deep sadness, in deep stress, in deep trauma, in remarkable overwhelm, the Rebbe says it's almost impossible to preach. Our times at this moment are so different in so many ways from 1942. But there's a part of me that maybe like you, maybe like others who are standing in the very same position that I am tonight, there's a part of us that says, how can I sing? How is it possible to sing? How is it possible to find the muse? How is it possible with all that we have witnessed, with all that we have experienced? Maybe on Rosh Hashanah last week, we could talk about rainbows, but today, where will we get our strength from? Where do we find our O's? In the tradition that we have, there's a very common way to begin a prayer. And so I will begin it at this moment, but I also want to interrogate it. Yihi ratzon milfanecha. We say before the source of all power, the source of all knowing, the omni-everything. Yihi ratzon, may it be your will. May it be your will. We recognize in that plaintive prayer, in that supplication, we say to God, my will, like this. Your will, like this. May it be your will, Yehi Ratzon. May it be your will that we have health. May it be your will that we have healing. May it be your will that we have abundance. May it be your will. This prayer and its posture, like Rabbi Shapira's posture of a God who awakens from above and blesses us below, recognizes human vulnerability. It recognizes our limitations. And it, as it were, gives God, the universe, power that we might otherwise arrogate to ourselves. Yom Kippur is a day of, if it be your will, God. Yom Kippur is, as everyone has already heard from me many years, I've said this to you over and over again, Yom Kippur is the day of our dress rehearsal for death. There's a book that I was reading in preparing for the Chagim called You Might Die Tomorrow. You can go to their website, youmightdietomorrow.com. Yom Kippur is the day we say, we might die tomorrow. So we invite in that liminality, that limitation. We invite into our experience the empty ark, the aron, which in Hebrew means a coffin. Imagining ourselves at the end of our life without will, without power. We imagine ourselves on Yom Kippur not eating, not drinking, not pleasure, not sex, nothing of the body, as if to say, another day to rehearse our death. Yom Kippur also has the annulment of vows, a common practice before someone passes, and the vidui, the confession, which is so much a part of the deathbed ritual in Judaism. So many of these pieces are reminding us that Yom Kippur is a day to remind ourselves of that which we have no control over, that which is beyond our power, our reach, not within our will to decide. And there's one piece, one more, that I'd like to explore with you tonight. Another symbol and expression of something quite powerful that holds within it, I think, a source of inspiration and elevation. You might be wondering, if you're watching, right? We wear these funny robes on Yom Kippur, known as a kittel, from the German for smock, kind of like the smock that you wear when I was a kid. I remember I used to put my hands through my dad's shirt, put it on backwards and finger paint. This is a covering over work clothing too. This kittel, we're told, is a shroud. And we wear a shroud, again, to remind ourselves of death. But I think that there's a deeper, more profound reason why we wear it on Yom Kippur, and it acts in the opposite direction. First, a little lesson in Hebrew. For those of you who have never seen the Hebrew alphabet, a couple of very important pieces before we teach a bit of Torah and then apply it. There are two letters in the Hebrew alphabet that, for all intents and purposes, sound almost exactly alike. The first one, an ayin, although there are many different expressions of ayin, different ways to vocalize it. Ayin, that letter, and the next letter, the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, Aleph. Aleph has just a wisp of a sound. It's just air. And ayin. These two letters, so similar in the way that they sound, at least in most pronunciations, work off each other in the most remarkable way in a midrash, in a rabbinic interpretation of a verse from the book of Genesis. We're told in the book of Genesis, Vayas Adonai Elohim la'adam u'li'ishto kutnot or, vayalbishem. And God made garments of skin, or, the word for skin, ayin vav resh, or. We were made from skins or given skins after we ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The story's context for those of you who are doing a refresher on your Bible course here. This moment in the Torah is in the moment after God has commanded Adam and Eve not to eat from the tree. When Adam and Chava are told by God, my will, not yours, be done on earth as I have decreed it in heaven. That tree over there, don't eat from it. For the minute you eat from it, your eyes will be awake and you will become mortal. And in this mythic structure, mortality was connected to this rebellion, this resistance. Adam and Chava, Adam or earthling and Chava, life force, eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and immediately they are aware that they are naked, they have a boundary, they are exposed. And so for protection, to protect their vulnerability, to protect the or, to protect their skin, they are given skin, leather or pelts. And here's the Midrash, the rabbinic story. There was a 2nd century rabbi named Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir, whose name means light, Meir from the word or, light. He has a thing with switching aleph and ayin. Unless you think, oh, interesting, listen to this. B'torato shel Rabbi Meir matz'u katuv kot not or. In the Torah of Rabbi Meir, apparently he had his own version where it said God clothed Adam and his wife, Adam and Eve, in garments of skin. Rabbi Meir says, I take this aleph off my chest and turn or with an ayin, skin, into or with an aleph, light. Rabbi Meir has an argument. Rabbi Meir has an opinion. He says in the aftermath of human will gone amok, in the aftermath of the fall, where human beings asserted their will over the divine will, in the moment after, you, in the Torah, it is taught in the Torah, or with an ayin, we have skin. Rabbi Meir says, no, original skin is made of light. Your original skin is made of light. The illuminate, the powerful radiance of your divinity, of your empowerment, of your will, is a source of your light. Skin, light. And so that in Rabbi Meir's Torah, here is how he has it written. Next one. Vayas Adonai Elohim la'adam u'li'ishto kotnot or. God made for Adam and his wife garments of light. Garments of light. Garments of light, for me, garments of light for me is one of the most radical teachings that we could possibly imagine. Garments of light that we ourselves, in the aftermath of our own will, our own assertion, our own power, our own agency, when all that we could have done would say, God, you are in power, let your will be done. God says, no, your will is what made the problem. We say, okay. And Rabbi Meir says, yes, you are made of light, you have power. And in the world of skin and light, in the world of boundaries versus a universal unity that we are all called from, a prime ordeal, if you will, power. We are both skin and light. We are both skin and light. Think for a moment what it means to wear this kittel on Yom Kippur. What it means to put on the garment of light. A garment of light. The heart of this day. The heart of this day where everything in the liturgy speaks of a power greater than us is to wear a garment of light and say, Uteshuva, utefila, utsedaka. Notwithstanding our limited power, notwithstanding what we can't reach for, notwithstanding what we can't know, we still assert on this day that our will be done, that we have the power to change the course of history, that we, although systems are bigger than us, although parts in a system that is much greater than who we are individually, we, each and every one of us, when we wear our garments of light, can change the decree. We, each and every one of us, when we put on this garment of light, or the self that we are, the human that we are, that we have the power to turn God's will and other powers beyond ours into our will. When Abraham walked into his father's shop and smashed the idols, he was wearing garments of light. When Moses stood in front of the tyrant, the most powerful man in the world, and said, "Let my people go," he wore a garment of light. When the Jews turned from an exiled consciousness and said, "We will go home, our will, not the will, be done," Ritzonenu, they wore garments of light. When a small group of territories decided to cede from the great monarch of Great Britain and penned their Torah and said in it, "We the people," they wore garments of light. And when the very law of that newly founded land reified the soil that had been soaked and bloodied by genocide, bigotry, and inhumanity, there were those who rose up and donned their garments of light and said, there is no law greater than the law of human love. There is no law greater than the power of one human being to change the universe. Our original skin is ore, light. When Rosa Parks sat on the bus, not because she was tired, but she was tired of injustice, she was dressed in the wardrobe of light. We had a chance to go down to Montgomery together with a number of rabbis, and we stood together in witness to the 4,400 African American men, women, and children who were hanged and burned alive and shot and drowned and beaten to death by white mobs between 1877 and 1950. And with that legacy, a lesser man than John Lewis might not ever have taken those steps onto the Edmund Pettus Bridge, but he was wearing garments of light. And for all of those who wake up in a world in which the deck is stacked against them and say, your will, the Torah says, we'll put on a garment of light. The power of of this image on this day is to remind us, all of us, especially now as we have seen 200,000 souls taken, many of which could have been saved, where wearing protective gear is an act of courage, an act of profound empowerment against what would seem to be something so much greater than us. Our will. Ritzonenu, our will. We put on garments of light to remind us that even though we are vulnerable, even though we are skin-encapsulated egos, even though we are so limited and so many things are beyond our control, we awaken ourselves from below to sing a song. Every year, I sit and listen over and over again to various songs that remind me of this time of the year. And there's one in particular that we've brought before here at Romemu. And for some reason this year, I started listening to it. And immediately I started to cry. The great prophet Leonard Cohen, at a point in his life where he felt he had no power and felt he was down and out, he sang a song. He called it a prayer. And in it he says, Yehi Ratzon, if it be your will, if it be your will, if there is a choice, let the rivers fill and let the hills rejoice. Let your mercy spill on all of those burning hearts in hell. If it be your will to make us well and draw us near and bind us tight. All your children here in our rags of light. In our rags of light, our kutnot or, all dressed to kill. Please end this night, if it be your will. Please end this night, if it be our will.
If it be your will that I speak no more, and my voice be still as it was before, I will speak no more. I shall abide until I am spoken for, if it be your will. If it be your will that a voice be true from this broken hill, I will sing to you. From this broken hill, all your praises they if it be your will. If there is a choice, let the rivers fill, let the hills rejoice, let your mercy spill on all these burning hearts in hell. If it be your will to make us well and draw us near and bind us tight, all your children here in their rags of light, in our rags of light, all dressed to kill
And
end
then
this night, if it be our will.
Oh, and this night, if it be our will. Thinking about you, Alan Dumaine. Thinking about you. Thinking about you, Randy, Gedalia. Thinking about you. Thinking about all of our incredible, remarkable, courageous warriors who wear the garments of light each and every day, and we lift you. Please rise, if you're able. Einon, Einon, Einod, Einon, 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 Einod, Einon. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו עם גויי ארצות, ושמנו עם משפחות האדמה, ששם חלקנו עמכם, וגורלנו עם כל העולם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ ומשה ויקרא בשמיים. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד. this moment, we invite all of those who are in mourning to please remain standing as we place the names of loved ones on the screen in front of you.
Our thoughts now turn to those whose lives touched us. We see their names. We say their names. We say our mourner's Kaddish together. Yit gadal beyit kadash shemeraba.
Amen.
Be'alma divra kirute be'amlich malchute bechayechon uvyumechon uvchaye dechol beit Israel. Ba'agala bizman kari ve'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam alalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal shmei dekudisha v'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma be'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama Rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael be'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel be'imru. Amen. Tenchamu min hashamayim, may you find comfort from the heavens.
And before we leave and send you off to the evening, Psalm 27, our constant companion throughout the Elul Tishrei time of the year, Ledavid Adonai Orivi Shi, we say, yeah, you are my light. You're also that which liberates me. You give me that power. And so, Achat Sha'alti, one of the most beautiful verses in all of the Psalm literature. One thing I ask, right, to be in your house all the days of my life. Achat Sha'alti.
שאלתי מאת אדוני עוד אבקש אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני עוד אבקש שבתי בבית אדוני כל
So before we send you, we have a couple of very brief announcements for tomorrow morning. We're going to put them up on the screen here for us to read. It's such a shame. I just want to see Sarah and Josh in their belovedness, lifting them up on this special day with all that is in store for them, God willing. A couple of things for you tomorrow morning. It's coming into view. It's coming into view. It's coming into view. Romemu Manhattan's service is tomorrow at 8:30. And also Brooklyn tomorrow as well.
ואני אשירו זך וארנן לבוקר חסדך כי היית משגב לי ומנוס ביום צר לי ואני אשירו זך וארנן לבוקר חסדך